afternoon, good evening, dead of night, wherever you may be. Right now, it's 4:11 track time. So what's going on? Basically, the sprint had that delayed, aborted start sequence, and they delayed it about 20-25 minutes. So that ultimately meant that quali had basically all the time. The timetable got shifted because of that. So literally, F1 Academy ended about like 10 minutes ago. Now going into the quali session. So everything. So quali got delayed 15 minutes based on the new timetable. Um, as the sprint goes, it's not official yet. Um, literally, they've been posting documents in the past like 20 minutes. um, we're gonna go through them. So the first one that we'll go over is basically before the race. Yuki Tsunoda, the Red Bull, broke Park Ferme. He was supposed to start from the pit lane. He did, but with the second start, he was then allowed to start on the grid. During so we haven't gotten to the race itself. During the reconnaissance laps, so these are the laps that the drivers are allowed to do before the race or for um, the sprint race, and this is before they get grid. And in that time, Charles Leclerc crashed. Well, he got pulled to the stewards because he didn't stop his car immediately after crashing. Ultimately, he was reprimanded for that. Um, basically, it was a reprimand. Ultimately, now we're gonna get into the fun stuff. So Alex Albon got a 5 second penalty because he was too slow. Because he was too slow under the minimum. There was a minimum time that you need to have under the safety car. He was too slow under three consecutive sectors, and they're already lined up on pit lane right now. So we're about to start at any minute now. But Alex was 5 second got a 5 second penalty for being too slow under the safety car. We've got two unsafe release penalties. So Behrman got a 5 second penalty for an unsafe release because he caused the other car, which is Hulkenberg, to react. Now Max got a 10 second unsafe penalty, safe release because his incident involved a collision with Antonelli, and that's why he ended up getting the 10 second penalty. Finally, we got Lawson having a collision with Alonso. That ends up giving him a 5 second penalty plus one license point. So one penalty point on his license. He has 6 of 12 currently right now. So yeah, this is yeah, six different incidents, two of them before the sprint race. As it stands right now, the sprint race is still in a provisional standing, and it's not official yet. So go figure. Again, we are right now waiting for Q1 to start, and they are packed on the pit lane line. There is some clouds that pointing at some clouds that look dark. That's not good. So yeah, the sprint race was basically an iRacing open lobby, as might as well be. Penalties, and again, we're not done. Again, as it stands right now, the FIA, the stewards, the race control has not closed the classification in terms of the sprint race. So there could be more documents coming during qualification. I see someone saying point no. Doug Mayo, sprint races are not pointless. They do have points. So we are starting Q1. Bartolao is coming out to be first onto track. I'm live on everything. So Stake is coming out, Gasly is coming out. So these are our first cars in Q1. Again, this is the Race Statistics channel. This is Crash with you with live coverage of the qualifying for the Grand Prix. We had a very interesting sprint race. It all kicked off half an hour before the sprint race when Charles Leclerc crashed his car during the reconnaissance laps. and then was pulled to it because he didn't pull over fast enough. So go crazy. Just when I did a note to racing statistics, the boss, hey, the tire is cut off. We can't see what tires they are using. So we've just started Q1. They're still lined up. They're still backed up into the pit lane. So Doohan came out, Stroll, Alonso, Sainz, Albon, Isaac, Lawson, Ocon, Behrman, and they're still packed up on pit lane. So it's going to take a while for them to come out. They are trying to get out now and do a banker lap as early as possible, so they have a time on the board. Given what has gone on this weekend, something's going to happen. Take another look at the documents. All right, so we're at 52 documents so far, so that's the number. If you're looking at the, I'll put this into chat so you guys know where I'm talking about. Here's the decision documents. Um, so there's been an incident already with Albin in the pit lane. So that is, yeah, this is crazy as heck. Yuki, I don't know. He's at least 8th right now. He could be 7th. Again, I'm gonna wait until there's so many penalties, and I don't know if there's any more penalties coming. Already right now we've got Sainz, Albin, Isaac. We got people on hot laps already. So that would be Stroll up on the board right now. Have come around once. Russell has yet to come out of the pits. It's at the pit lane entrance. Okay, so we have an issue where Russell on the track does not represent where he is at where he actually is. So just hold up, be mindful of that. Yeah, and people, yeah, hello to Becky, who's said hello to me. Yeah, there look like there's rain coming, so they're trying to get ahead of that. Just looking at what's going on right now. We got people starting to populate the board. Alonso's right now top of the board, 128.058. We still have some of the big names. Albin just went 127.8. He does 2.2 faster than Alonso. And Isaac and Lawson are pitting, so they're not actually completing their laps. Damon jumps up to P8. Here comes Ocon. He's going to come across the line. He's going to come across the line at P6. Sonoda doing a P10. Portolello right now on a cooldown lap, pitting. Here comes Max. His first lap goes P1, 127.573. Fastest first sector right now. Hamilton's going to set his first time. It's going to be a 128.064. Oscar going to the top of the chart, P1, 127.3. Fastest third sector. Verstappen is the fastest first sector. Norris is the fastest second. He's going to go P3 right now. Yeah, there are some dark clouds off in the distance. I'm not sure what the weather report is at the moment. Leclerc going P10 at the moment. Again, he crashed out before, and Russell now showing up on track correctly on that chart. He's gonna looks like he's gonna finish his lap. No, I think Russell's pitting. Yeah. So right now, with 12 minutes left to go, under 12 minutes left to go, right now Stroll is the driver at risk at 16. Sonoda is the driver at risk at 15, and we've got Stroll, Isaac, Russell, Antonelli, and Lawson in the drop zone at the moment. But though Stroll is the only one who's has set a time in that group, Isaac, Russell, Antonelli, and Lawson have not set a time as of yet. Isaac is coming out of the pits. The other three are in the pits. Sonoda is in the pits, and Stroll is coming out of the pits. So those are at the bottom of the board that we're most concerned about with the knockout. Again, on top of the board, we've got Oscar, Max, Norris, Albon, Alonso, Hamilton, Sainz, Dewey, Hulkenberg, and Leclerc right now in the top 10. Kai says Verstappen is overrated. You need to qualify that. Why is he overrated? You're going to have to come and tell us. Mercedes is really struggling. No, they haven't done a full lap yet. They haven't set time, so we can't really say that they're struggling as of yet. Same thing with the Racing Bulls, the V car team. And we've got another line forming. Queue formed on pit lane. I think this is the Mercedes are queuing up to go out again. How can a four-time champion be overrated? That's what I want to find out. Because I want to push on that, and I want to know what they're going to say. And okay, so they've got Albon trying to get out ahead of. So when we started, Albon kind of muscled his way in front of Isaac. And that's why he's been noted for an unsafe release. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Go to the decision documents one more time. So the sprint finally has been classified. Let's we'll cover that between SQ1 and SQ2. There we go. I'm gonna look over what people. I want to look everyone over in Twitch chat. Do its investigation after second pit lane infringement. So, hooray! We won't know the actual order until after the session. So that's good. That's gonna be fun. People tired of Max winning always, but Max didn't win the sprint race. Yeah, I mean that you're just proving what Horner had said. The fastest way for people to hate you is to win. The Red Bull only suits Verstappen. I mean, he is their number one driver. We've heard this. Isaac has just gone P2. He's 1.81 behind Oscar, so that's a good time. He will get into Q2 definitely with that time. Alonso moves up to 6. Right now in the drops, we've got Beerman is 50. Borman is 15th. Science has gone top of the board, 127.08. It's a 0.209, so 2/10 more than 2/10 faster than Oscar's time. Though Oscar's on an outlap at the moment. Albon's on an outlap. Albon moves up to P3. So the Williams are looking good. Antonelli going to the top of the board again, 127.007. 21 thousandths, so 0.21. Brell going P5, 2.90. So the rookies are showing up today. Lawson P6 0.3674. He's about half a tenth, so 0.05 behind his teammate Hulkenberg going P7. So right now Stroll is the driver at risk again. Uh, as I say that, Russell just jumps out of the drop zone into P7. So Doohan is driving risk. Stroll, Leclerc, Ocon, Bierman, Tsunoda are the drivers at risk currently right now. Three of them are on hot laps. Doohan goes to P11. You've got Verstappen, Hamilton, Leclerc. Ocon finishes lap. He goes to P13. Next to finish is going to be Tsunoda. Comes across the line. He goes to P9. See, is going to be Hamilton, Leclerc are the next two going to be crossing the line. Leclerc does not moves to P9, and then Hamilton's going to cross the line to P15. So Hamilton's driver at risk at the moment. Verstappen on a hot lap right now, fastest first sector at the moment. And then Oscar's the only other one. Norris, Oscar, Max right now, the three drivers on a hot lap. And we can tell that by their times are improving with greens and purples. I think Verstappen is going to be the next one. He's going to pass Hulkenberg on track. Does that before turn 17. Then we'll have Oscar and then Norris. These are the three. Antonelli's pitting. Max coming to turn 19 to the line. And he's going to go to the top of the board, 126.807. Fastest first sector again, 2/10 faster than Antonelli. Oscar is at 18:19 at the moment, coming to the line. He's going to go P2 with his next lap. He's 0.136 behind Max. Norris has got the deal with doing. He's at 18:19 right now, coming to the line. He's going to jump P5, and I think, yeah. Norris lost time in sector. He didn't improve in sector 2. Didn't improve in sector 1, sector 3. He's 0.4 behind Max this time. No one right now on a hot lap right now. We've got several who are in the pits. Only Hamilton, Leclerc, Norris, Oscar, and Verstappen. Again, they were the only ones on track. Russell right now hit out, and I believe Antonelli on an out lap. We've got 4 minutes and 20 seconds left to go in this session. Again, you're listening to the Race Statistics channel. We're on live on YouTube and on Twitch. I want to thank the 4,000 on YouTube right now and the dozens who are watching. And we're seeing one of the Ferraris come into the pits, and that'd be Lewis Hamilton's car. So more coming out. We will expect more. Again, right now Hamilton is the driver at risk. I expect him to go bolt on new tires and send them back out. There's 3 minutes and 45 seconds, so we've got about a minute for him, minute and so, to get back out on track. Okay, now the track is getting more crowded. Yep, I mean the people who need to get times, again, everyone from P10 down, even probably a little bit higher, need to get out onto track to set a better time. So right now, Hamilton is the driver risk at 15. Ocon, Alonso, Gasly, Stroll, Bierman are the drivers in the drop zone. These are the 5 drivers. If they don't improve, will be eliminated. Doohan is 14. Isaac is 13. Tsunoda is 12. So Hamilton is 0.886 behind Max. And he's the driver at risk. There's that whole 10th jump from him to Doohan, and then another 10th jump from, and more than a 10th and a half to him to Isaac. Tsunoda is within 2,000ths difference. So it's 0.16 versus 0.616618 between Tsunoda and Isaac, and then another 2,000 thousandths between him and Leclerc. And then we jump to Hulkenberg at 6.03. So we're in not within a tenth, but within within 200ths of a second between P10 and P13. I have a feeling those times may not be safe. Our knockout times might be in that zone right there, given where things are at. Hulkenberg again is P10. Russell is P9 with a 0.581 gap. Proven again, it wasn't enough. No. Uh, Bierman's on a flying lap right now. So is Russell. So is Leclerc. Isaac starting a flying lap. Stroll will be starting a flying lap as he crosses the line. Antonelli, right now P3, will be starting a flying lap. So will be Lawson. Lawson right now P8. And then here comes Alonso. Alonso P17 coming across the line after an out lap. So we got a minute and 22 seconds left to go. Again, since we are doing 128 laps, at this point, basically, as people cross the line, they are starting their lap. As people finish their these flying laps, that's the time that they'll be locking in. Max is at the top of the board in pit. Don't expect him to come out. Oscar's pitting, so he's going to be out of this scenario here. I suspect Norris maybe the pit. Clark goes up to P9, so that's going to lock him in with his time. Norris is going for it. Hulkenberg, Gasly coming across the line. Ocon coming across the line. And Ocon doing, these are people who are done out laps. Sainz coming across the line right now. He's done on this is his out lap, so this is his flying lap. Isaac right now 13th. This is going to be his time. He's going to jump into P6 at 0.41, 121.3 gap. I mean, time, I should say. Here comes Sonoda. Sonoda jumps. Nope, so it was an outlap. This is Stroll. Basically, that was Stroll's lap. He goes 18, so he's going to be knocked out. Here comes Lawson. This is his lap. He does not improve in time and position, so he's at 11. Here comes Alonso. Alonso gets out of the drop zone to P14, but it's a 0.734 gap. So he's in danger to be potentially knocked out. Doing right now is Albon moves up to P5. That doesn't change anything. Antonelli's pitting. He's out of the question here right now. Here I'm doing moves up to 11th. That too is a 127.42, 0.552 gap. That should be good. That should be good enough. Here comes Mortellello. P9 right now. And that is going to be it for him. Norris moves up to P2. That's just bragging rights. He was P8. Hulkenberg comes across the line. Does not improve in time. I believe one of the Haas's, that Behrman pits. So no improvement from Behrman. Ocon moves to P13. Clark is pitting. I believe comes Hamilton. Hamilton comes across the line to P8. Gasly's pitting. Here comes Sonoda. Sonoda right now is P16. He moves up to P9. Sainz right now is 7th. Anyone else? I think Hulkenberg, yeah. And I think that is where I think we've got our cut here. So basically, it's going to be Hulkenberg, Alonso, Gasly, Stroll, and Bierman are going to be kicked out in Q1. Nico Hulkenberg. Ooh, yeah, it's by 200s. Hulkenberg did a 6.03 and Ocon did a 5.80 gap. So it's 127.450 versus the 0.473. So again, we are just finished Q1. Again, we've got cars on track right now. They're coming around and we'll be pitting. So it's going to be a few minutes before we get to Q2. So while we wait for that, let's go over the final for the sprint race. That document finally dropped during Q1. Let's go over this. So again, Norris did win the race, and we'll go over the order. Well, no order when people have changed. So Norris wins the sprint race. We knew that. Oscar was second. Lewis Hamilton third. George Russell fourth. Lance Stroll fifth. Interesting, Lance Stroll. Yuki Tsunoda will ultimately get P6. That's again. So Stroll's getting 4 points. Yuki getting 3 points. Kimi Antonelli getting 2 points, despite having the issues he had that day. Again, and then Pierre Gasly is going to be coming in P8 ultimately in the final classification. P10 is Isaac Ja. Then P11 is Alexander Albon. This is after he had taken a 5 second penalty for not being below, did not stay below the minimum time set by the ECU under the safety car. Esteban Ocon comes in 12th, and then Liam Lawson comes in 13th. Lawson basically has a 5 second penalty plus a penalty point for causing a collision with Alonso. Oliver Bearman on safe release comes in P14. P15 is Gabriel Borletto. Jack Doohan is 16th, 17th, and Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen getting a 10-second time penalty for an unsafe release and with a collision with Kim Angela in the pit lane. So there were four adjustments: Albon, Lawson, Bearman, and Verstappen. Not classified. Alonso, Sainz, and Leclerc. They did not finish. I know it shows DNF on here for Leclerc. It's actually did not start. He did not even get to the start line. Again, Sainz had his own incident coming out of the pits, and then Alonso was hit by Lawson. Fastest lap, this is for record-keeping sake, was Lewis Hamilton, which was a 136.368 on lap 13. And that was 202.174 miles per hour. So that is the sprint race. It is now final. Avenge it now. See, we're still waiting for the setup for Q2. I know this is quali. I know that we just went over the final for the sprint race. Yeah. When does Q2 start? It should be starting in a few moments now. Albon was not disqualified in the sprint. Albon was given a penalty in the sprint. Is it dry weather right now? Yes. It has not been rain. It rained. We had a downpour happen about 30 minutes before the sprint. That was when the reconnaissance came out. About 20 minutes, I should say, actually, not 30. 20 minutes before the sprint race was the reconnaissance, and that's when they get to the grid. The grid, and that's when it rained. It stopped raining after that. It's been dry since then. I just watched the end of the F1 session one race, and then they're all lined up. I believe this is Max on. Yeah, this is Max on the pit lane exit, waiting for a green light. People putting out. Again, we know right now already that Albon is going to be investigated at the end of the session. There's rain, but where is it? How is it moving? There is rain in the region, I should say, but it's not near the track. They just showed a shot of the weather radar. It's in the area. It could move up. Here goes Max and Sonoda. So we have just gone green light on Q2. We know that. So why are they being investigated? So we know Albon, there was an issue with the pit lane exits. He basically muscled his way in front of Isaac. Who hasn't been investigated? I think most of chat hasn't been investigated yet, but that's another matter. President Max is once again fastest despite being the slow. He's not in the slowest car. He's not in the slowest car. That honor right now, I think, goes to either Stake or Aston Martin. What are you guys yelling about? Yeah, you guys are basically like saying who Cadillac uh sign right now. Um, yeah, guys, yeah, guys, keep it to F1, please. I'm gonna start timing people out, moving things. So right now we've got Max on his yep, he's basically has started his flying lap. And we've got Sonoda on a flying lap as well. Both of them have to deal with traffic with Norris and Oscar. So we are in Q2 already. We have people on track on their first flying laps, their first banker laps. Sainz just crossed the line, but that's starting a flying lap. Hamilton just crossed the line, but he's starting a flying lap. Isaac is going to come across the line soon. Max is going to have to pass Albon on track in the back straight. That's the 16 to 17. Here comes Max. He's again. He's the first one who went out, so he's going to be purple across the board, anyways. Again, full purple lap. That has been second sector's already been taken away from by Leclerc. So Max going P1 on the board. Albin starting his flying lap. Tsunoda going P2. He's half a second behind Max. Leclerc blazing in sector 3. He's going to come to the line. Oh, he only goes P2. Oh wow, he's 3 tenths behind Max. He picked up. Yeah, he was 6 tenths slower than Max in sector 1, but improved in sector 2, sector 3 on him. Barlow going P4. We got Ocon P5. Sainz going P2 to 2.63 behind Max. Hamilton jumping P4. Russell's on an outlap. And I don't think Russell's icon is not on the track for some reason. So just note that we're having an issue with that at the moment. Lawson coming around. Lawson, this is his flying lap, his first banker lap. He's going to go P8. Albin and Isaac are next. P12, P14, respectively. Albin goes P2, 2 tenths behind Max. Here comes Isaac. Isaac's looked good this season. He's had some up and downs. He's going to pit, though. We've got Oscar and Norris on their first laps. Norris right now fastest second sector. Both have been pretty good. Oscar's going to go top of the board, 3 tenths faster than Max. Here comes Norris. He's going to go P2, 2 tenths behind his teammate. Max is pitting. He's now 3.74 behind Oscar currently. We've got 9 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this session right now. First Williams podium? Well, that'd be cool if Williams got a podium. I don't know if the Russells having Antonelli just went P3, 3.337 behind Oscar's time. Russell goes P11. He's still in the drop zone. So right now, the only person who's not made a time on the board is Isaac. He's P15. His teammate is Lawson. He's 1.4 seconds off the pace. Doohan is 1 second off. Akon is 9 tenths more than a third off of that. Russell is at just under 9 tenths. Borel, the driver risk, is at 8.82. Sonoda is only 2 thousandths faster than him. Hamilton is 0.737, and then Leclerc is 679. So six more than 6.7 tenths. Hamilton 7.3 tenths. Yeah, Russell's invisible right now, and I'm not sure why. I did see his icon did fly off the map down below, so I'm not sure what's going on with our map at the moment. There could be data wrong with his transponder from F1 up above that we can't do. He's not bouncing around. I think he's not bouncing up and down the timing chart like he did a couple weeks ago. So that's good. They've took that into account at least. Right now, Doohan's coming in, and Antonelli looks like he's going to come in. Yep. So right now, everyone has come into the pits. So as it stands right now, we've got 7 minutes and 38 seconds left to go. Bordello is at P10. Tsunoda's P9. He's not that much, he is just as risky as Bortolello. I'm going to put Hamilton into, he's probably not safe as well. He's tenth, more than a tenth and a half off of where things are at the moment. He does so 127.006 is Hamilton's time. 127 are not going to cut it. I don't know why we just switched our order. There we go. So the 127 is basically not going to be safe. Leclerc right now is a 127.948. That's probably not safe as well. And I probably will say Science is not safe with a 126.906. We're probably getting to Albon. Probably needs to go and improve by at least a tenth. So it gets us to P4. Verstappen is probably the only first one who's safe, 126.463. That's 3.74 tenths off. And again, Antonelli does a 126.606. Norris did a 126.499, and then Oscar was a 126.269 to be top of the board. Again, looking down, we've got Bordello, again, driver at risk, P10. Russell, Ocon, Doohan, Lawson, and Isaac are the 5 drivers in the drop zone right now. Both Ferraris out? No, they're not out yet, but they are. They need to improve their times. I'm literally going up through P5 saying that they all probably need to go out and improve their times to get into Q3. The only 4 drivers who I have any that are probably safe are Oscar, Norris, Antonelli, and Verstappen at this point. We've got 5 minutes and 38 seconds to go in this session. It will probably be a minute or two before we see cars going out. The only reason why why is everyone in the pit? It's a game of chicken at this moment because they want to go out be the last one over the line to do their final lap. I mean, you can send someone out right now, but then if there's any track evolution, if something, basically, again, the issue right now is you send someone out right now is because you want clean air. So there's movement. I can see people are coming out. So the people who are coming out, so Sonoda's coming out right now. I think again, that's Archon, Bartolel. So what they're doing right now, and So once one person come out, everyone started coming out. Again, a game of chicken. So Sonoda is going to be the winner of this one with clean air. Ocon is going to be the next one out. Williams is faster than Ferrari? Yes, they are. That's curious that they are. But bravo for Williams to being competitive, being better than their parent, using the parts they're using. Yeah, there's again. There is track evolution, though that would be less so this weekend, because you've got the F1A Academy and you've got the Porsche Cup racing this weekend as well. Though great, well, no, I gotta take that back because it rained earlier this morning, so the track is relatively green, because all that rubber from yesterday got washed off. What people don't. I'm not gonna answer that. It's pretty simple. Go fast, you get into Q3. Pro accommodate Sky Sports at this point. No, I don't want to deal with Sky Sports. I'm not a Brit anyway, so heck with Sky Sports. Just looking right now at the moment. The people are cheering on for Yuki right now. Ooh, Akon, ooh, what turn was that? That looks around the 12, 13, 15, 16. Akon was wiggly on his lap. Oh, his back end looks, it's not clean. No, that was earlier. That was actually 4, 5, 6 to 7. Yeah, the back end of Akon does not look good. He's got it's looks loose. It looks wiggly. That's not good. So Oscar Norris, Antonelli, and Verstappen are the first ones out. Snowden and Barcelona, these are the ones on fast laps right now. Science is coming to the line, though the Science is an out lap. So here comes Sonoda. They're predicting a 126.9. Uh, yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's again puts it. Albin is okay, but kind of what I said. It did put. I went even lower with my prediction. Like Isaac just went to P10 again. We've got a minute left. I think that is going to set things in. Here comes Norris. Norris is not going to improve in his time. Here comes Antonelli. Antonelli's P3. This is bragging rights. Does not improve in his time. Here comes Max. Max doesn't improve in his time. Here comes Hamilton. Hamilton does not improve in his time. Oh, Hamilton's being knocked out. Comes with Clerk. Clerk's not improving in his time. Oh, Hamilton is out. Science moves up to fifth. That's only that swatches order of his teammates. So Hamilton is out. Bordello is going to be out. Russell just moves up to third. That moves Isaac down to 11th, so he's out. Doohan and Lawson are the last two who could make a change in order. Here comes Doohan. And then Lawson next. Doohan does not make it. Does not improve. Here comes Lawson. Lawson's P15. Uh, he's not going to make it either. So we know who's going to be knocked out. It's going to be Isaac, Hamilton, Bordello, Doohan, and Lawson. Notably, Isaac is qualifying higher than Hamilton, despite being knocked out. Both of them knocked out. Yeah, no. Isaac is two hundredths faster than Hamilton. Cut line was a 126.967 kind of 10th. So this is so we have Isaac, Hamilton, Bordello, Doohan, Lawson being knocked out. Not a good day for Ferrari. Granted, Leclerc is in Q3, so we've got Ice. I've got Oscar, we've got Norris, Russell, Antonelli in that order. Verstappen, Sainz, and Albon. Williams are in here as well. We've got Red Bull here with again Leclerc, Sonoda, and Ocon. So the interesting is that we've got both Williams, both Red Bulls, both Mercedes, both McLarens. We've got only one of the Ferraris, and we got one of the Haas's in here. Ocon makes it into Q3. Again, Haas is the other team that's been out of nowhere. They've been showing good moments of brilliance, moments of awesomeness. Granted, we've got like teammate out in Q3 dead last, Behrman, and we've got a teammate in currently P10 in Q3. So, wild variances and inconsistency with the team. But still, the fact that Ocon has got that Haas into Q3, kudos to him, kudos to the team for getting that right at least. Now, given that Bierman is P20, he could be a pit lane start. They may try something on his car for the sake of trying something, testing something, getting data. I mean, it'd be, and basically they're going to they do that. It becomes a glorified test session for Bierman. So he has started in that back of the pack and has gone into it's gone 10 places. So he is a an artist in that regard. So that if they do make a change for that, I can see them making a change to help him to get more downforce, do whatever they need to help him pass other cars. So Williams could be in trouble for 2026. Can you, if they focus too much on, if they focus on 2025 cars? Well, what's being addressed here is that again the regulations are changing at the end of this year, and so how long do you want to put time into the current car when you could put time into the future car? Capillo is pointing out a battery issue with Lawson, and that would account for it, him being an issue. So again, right now, looking through, noting from Twitch chat that the both Red Bulls are in Q3. That is correct. Again, Verstappen and Noda are in Q3. Which Isaac had made Q3. Yeah, but he was. I mean, it was again like 200s. I mean, it's every little bit. Him starting P11 is a good place. It's a good as a rookie. That's actually a good place to be starting from. I mean, the only other rookie that's he's outperforming all the other rookies. He's with the sole exception of Antonelli. As Gamer pointing out, watch Bierman get points tomorrow. Yeah, definitely. He is someone who will, if they do a pit lane start with him, he could be in the points. There could be an incident tomorrow as well that where he gets track position out of it. Again, we are in the middle of the intersection between Q2 and Q3 at the moment. You're listening to Race Statistics YouTube channel, and we're also live on Twitch. I want to thank the 4,415 watching live here on YouTube. We've got dozens and dozens watching on Twitch. You got 593 likes so much. Thank you so much. That does help with the YouTube algorithm. We're about 49 away from 140,000 subscribers. So if you not subscribed, now's a great time to do it on YouTube. You hit that bell, you get notifications when we go live. We go live for every session. So this weekend we had FP1, the sprint sprint race. Now this quali, and then tomorrow for the race. Again, on a normal weekend, it would be FP1, FP2, FP3 quali in the race. We were also live for preseason testing as well. And you can expect us to be live for preseason testing next year as well. Definitely next year when there's new regulations and new cars. It's going to be fun. I'm going to look right now. Our next race is Imola, which will be in 2 weeks. And then we'll have, I believe, Monaco the week after that. Of course, this is the month of May. There is many races right now. I know IndyCar is at Barber this weekend. We'll have to probably watch a replay of that at this point. Let me see. I know NASCAR is in the region of where I'm living. I'm in North Texas, and Texas Motor Speedway is in the Dallas Fort Worth area. Again, tomorrow. We will have. I know those are tomorrow, I should say. So there is the Xfinity races today, and they were truck races as usual yesterday. So lot going on this weekend. In 2 weeks, in 2 weeks. No, it will be no. In 2 weeks, it will be. Sorry, my apologies. 2 weeks, basically, IndyCar will be on the Indianapolis road course. The week after that, we'll be at Imola if that one. Then the weekend after that, that's the 25th, is Monaco and the Indianapolis 500. The your crown jewel of motorsports in a weekend. I think another week out, within a few weeks, we will also have the Le Mans 24 hours Le Mans, and then at the beginning of June, we will be at IndyCar. Not IndyCar. F1 will be in Spain, and they're lined up. So time has just started. We've just gone green, and they're starting to pull out of the garage and onto track. Ocon is going to be the first out. Sonoda second. Leclerc third. Did Alex ever say why he thought the Merc was illegal? No, not sure what you're referring to. So not sure. Can't answer that at the moment. We're Verstappen fourth out, and then we're gonna see Oscar, then Norris. Again, this is the start of Q3. We are listening to the Race Statistics channel. Again, we're live on both YouTube and Twitch at the time. We're probably live somewhere else, like YouTube, or the YouTube is showing you either the Twitch or the YouTube stream. Sainz and then Albon will be out next. That's going to leave Russell and Antonelli, then Russell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What am I missing? Yeah, it's just Russell right now. So they in a moment, everyone will be out who's in Q3 will be out on track. Note that Russell's icon is doing a disappearing act. So look at what you guys are saying. Regulations were bad for Hamilton, man. That's an interesting question. That's an interesting way to phrase the regulations. We're on TikTok live as well. That's interesting. I hope it's our stream and not someone stealing our stream. Race statistics. If you can tell us if we're actually streaming on TikTok, that would be interesting. So we've got people coming around. Still, we've got only Max, Leclerc, Sonoda, and Ocon and Oscar on their first flying lap. Oscar just came across the line. Norris is about to come across the line. followed by Sainz, Albon, Antonelli. Excuse me, Antonelli. Tsunoda is creeping up behind Ocon. So we're going to get our first times on the board soon. Tsunoda was the first to go out, so he's on provisional pole by virtue of being first. Wouldn't expect him to be there. Alcon's going to get across the line before Tsunoda. He's going to go P1, 127.407. That's at the first time. Tsunoda's next. He's going to go P2. He's a quarter of a second behind him. Ooh. Okay, right now, Max on a flying lap right now. Ocon has sector 3, but Max has done a full purple lap, 127.492. That's a second faster than Ocon. So, line in the sand, put. Here comes Oscar. He's 2/10 off of Max already. He's going to come in 0.017. He makes time in sector 2 and sector 3 on Max, and it's 17 thousandths. Norris comes in 3 thousandths behind Max. So we're within 200ths. Sainz comes in P4.736 is the gap. Albon and Antonelli next to across the line. Albon comes in P4.67. He's a tenth, about half a tenth. And Antonelli comes in a quarter second behind Max. So I think Russell right now, he's coming to the line. He's going to come P5. And then we still have Leclerc abandoned his lap for the last second. So right now we've got everyone with a time except for Leclerc. I can see what happened to Charles. Charles basically abandoned his lap at the last moment. We're looking at Russell at the moment, and Russell coming close to that wall. You play up Charles. And Charles went wide, so he abandoned his lap. So so it didn't matter what Leclerc did. He was gonna basically comes right into the pits right away because there was no point of him staying on track. Max is being pitted at the moment. We've got 6 minutes left to go. This is again. This is we got Sainz, Albon, and Antonelli on track right now, and I don't see Russell. Russell's out on track as well. Albon is pitting right away. So is Sainz. Antonelli's pitting. Here comes Russell. And Russell's pitting. So basically, everyone, with 5 minutes and 20 seconds left to go, everyone has come into the pits. Again, we will see them come out in about a minute or so at the latest. Again, it's going to game of chicken. Who goes out first? Yeah, we're waiting for again. You listen to the Race Statistics YouTube channel, and we're also live on Twitch. Again, this is Grash with live coverage of Q3 right now. Right now, everyone's in the pit. We're waiting for the first penguin to come out of the garage, get onto track again. We are 4 minutes and 15 seconds left in this session. So we're looking at them all coming out in the next minute or so. We can go another minute before we see a car come out on track. Again, they're doing a 126, so a minute and a half. So they will have to be out at the 2 minute mark. That's when most of the cars will be coming out. And here we go. Here comes the McLarens, Ferraris. Sonoda getting out, Max getting out ahead. Right now. So we've got Sonoda, Verstappen, Ocon, Leclerc, Norris, and Oscar coming out already. They're preparing. That would be Antonelli's car. I wouldn't take any times right now on the board because again, people are coming out on laps. They're on out laps. Sonoda coming to turn 16 right now, and he's on the back straight on it, but he's on his out lap. So the only one left in the pit is Russell. He will be coming out any moment now. Yep, there he goes. So Russell coming out. They are spreading out. They're taking their time through turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 to give space for everyone. So here comes Sonoda. So at this point, as they come across on their flying laps, that's how they're going to finish. With 152 left to go, again, the previous lap was they're doing 154, 156 on their laps. So this is it. So Sonoda on flying lap, Verstappen on flying lap, Ocon on flying lap, Leclerc coming to the line first flying lap. So this is the moment of truth right now for everyone. As it stands, Max is on provisional pole. Max flying in Sector 1. He's going to do fastest Sector 1 so far. Here comes Sonoda. He's coming around turn 11 to turn 14. He's got Antonelli and Albon ahead of him. He might have to deal with Antonelli on the back straight. Verstappen's in clear air. So is Ocon and Leclerc. So they're all pretty much in clean air as this. Oscar doing a good first sector. So is Norris. Again, everyone's improving. So Antonelli coming to the line. This is his out lap, so he's going to be starting. Again, we've got 40 seconds left to go, but the time will be done. Tsunoda is going to go up to P5. That's where he's going to end up. Max is coming across. He has improved in Sector 1. He has improved in Sector 2. Max has improved his time to 126.2004. Ocon coming across the line. Currently P9. He's going to jump up to P5. Leclerc coming across the line. This is his flying lap. So Leclerc coming at P5. So Max, Leclerc, Ocon, and Tsunoda are locked in. We've got Norris and Oscar coming to the line. Norris first. Norris has the fastest sector. He did not improve in Sector 2. And Norris only goes P2. He's 0.65 behind. Here comes Oscar. Oscar also did not improve in Sector 2. He was further behind. Can't respond. And he does a 126.375. Doesn't improves in his time, but not in his position. Sainz, currently P10, jumps up to P4. Albon right now, currently P9. Again, we've got Max on positional pole. Albon coming across the line, P5. Here comes Antonelli. And Nelly's improved all the sector times. He's got a good subsector. Currently P6, jumps to P3. And right now, the last driver on the track is Russell. And he's going to jump to P5. And that is it. This is qualifying. Q3 is over. Max is on pole. Norris second. Second row, Antonelli is third. Oscar's third. Third row, Russell is P5. Sainz P6. Fourth row is Albon and Leclerc, and then Ocon and Tsunoda round out the fifth row. So, now having said that, Albon has has a unsafe release investigation on him. I think he's the only one right now that I know of. But don't be surprised when we come to the race tomorrow and I tell you there's been a change in the order from what we see here. So just be mindful. Given how the sprint ended up with all the penalties, we know there's an investigation already with Albon. I don't know if he will get the penalty or whatnot. That's the question to be. Normally be a fine? No, not necessarily. It can be a 5-second penalty. Would be a drop in grid place drop because it's passed out of the session. So that 5-second penalty becomes a grid order penalty for the next race, which would mean the race tomorrow. So. Was it after race of the Red Bull pit crew and not Max? I think that's a different unsafe release. Albon came out in front of Isaac, and there was he kind of muscled his way out in front of Isaac, and that's where the stewards are going to take a look at, and that's what's being investigated. Let's take a look at the decision documents right now. Yeah, so we have document. So document 24, basically 53 was the sprint classification, 54 was sprint points after the sprint, and now 55. So the only one who's being summoned is Alex Albon for the pit lane incident. So again, Max Verstappen on pole, Norris second, Antonelli behind Max, Oscar behind Norris to start the race tomorrow. Again, this has been the Race Statistics YouTube channel. Again, we had over 5,000. There is Q1 incident between Oscar and Norris following the follow race direction. No further action. So we're seeing things pop up on race control. So here we go. So tomorrow, again, we will see you for the race tomorrow. I'll be here providing coverage for the race. For everyone here at the Race Statistics channel, this is Grash. Again, Race Statistics has been here as well. I want to thank everyone who's been here, like Paula Maiki, Shay, and everyone else. I want to thank those who've been in YouTube chat, those in Twitch chat. We will see you tomorrow for the Grand Prix. Take care, everyone. Have a good night, or get something good to eat, and come charge. Take care.